Sometimes your reaction doesn't seem to match the moment. Someone becomes quiet and suddenly you feel responsible. A small mistake feels like failure. A simple disagreement feels like something is about to be lost. And afterward you wonder, why did that affect me so deeply? Why am I like this? But then another question appears. What taught me I needed to be this way? And something begins to make sense. Maybe you learned to stay quiet because speaking never ended well. Maybe you became the peacemaker because keeping everyone else calm was the only way you could feel safe. Maybe you learned to overthink because surprises were rarely good. Maybe you carried responsibilities that were never yours because no one else was carrying them. At the time, you probably didn't realize you were adapting. You were simply finding ways to make it through, and those ways worked, so you kept them. The solution became a habit. The habit became a reaction, and eventually, the reaction began to feel like your personality until you could no longer tell where the survival ended, and you began. But perhaps the things you have judged most harshly were never flaws. Perhaps they were stepping stones. They helped you cross a season you didn't yet understand. They carried you until you could reach somewhere safer. And maybe that is why they feel so difficult to release. They have been with you for so long that letting them go can feel like losing part of yourself. But a stepping stone was never meant to become your permanent home, and an old solution does not have to become a lifelong rule. Maybe you are not the overthinking, the apologizing, the fear of disappointing everyone. Maybe those are simply things you learn to do, not who you are, and perhaps growth begins with finally realizing there was never anything wrong with me. I became what I needed to get through what was happening. But I'm not there anymore. You can be grateful for the person who carried you through without asking them to carry you forever, because who you had to become may explain how you survived. But it does not have to decide who you become next. That's a quiet truth.